You are now in tune to the most intriguing podcast in the universe. Hosted by the scientist Leon Marshall. Are you ready for Marshall's Melanin PODCLASS?
Listen, I am fully energized.
Class is in session.
You gonna learn today.
I found it really enlightening, like educational as well. There were a lot of things I didn't know, especially with melanin and like all the benefits of melanin. So I found that very interesting.
I love it. There's so much information, you know, it's entertaining and it's just facts after facts after facts.
This is the podcast where science is made simple and learning is fun. Welcome to Marshall's Melanin PODCLASS, Class 9. Now, here's your host, the scientist Leon Marshall.
Yo, Marshall!
Yes. What's good, family? My name is Leon Marshall and you're tuned into Marshall's Melanin PODCLASS, Class 9. Big up everyone who's listening right now. Happy New Year, family. Where's all my family in the chat? Put some ones in the chat if you're happy to see another year. Put some ones in the chat if you feel good about the new year, family. Let me see your ones. Yeah. Yeah, large up the family in the chat, man. I see you. And for those who are feeling good about this new year, tonight's class will definitely help. Because we're doing something a little different tonight, family. I'm going to be breaking down my top 10 tips to melanin greatness for 2022. These are like New Year resolutions, but specifically for the melanated family worldwide. So it should be an interesting one. Now remember, I do these PODCLASSes on the first of each and every month, so don't miss them. And as always, later I will open up the calls so you guys can call in and ask your questions, make your comments, or just say what's on your melanin mind. I don't mind what you say, just be a part of tonight's class. But that's later. Now I've created this podcast so we can all truly understand melanin once and for all. What it is and how it works. We must change the narrative around melanin if we are ever going to understand it. Changing the narrative means we need to change the language, change the way we talk about and describe melanin scientifically. And that change happens right now. So let's go.
I've been to quite a few and I've heard Leon talk at other events, and as usual you do come away learning something.
Listen, I am fully energized.
That is brilliant. It's just so informative, mind-blowing. It's something that, you know, it's just put me on a journey of knowing thyself. It's just fantastic.
Large up Huddersfield, big up Birmingham, big up London in the building, big up my worldwide family tuned in right now. Let's start. Yeah. So tonight, family, is going to be a little bit different. Tonight is going to be a little bit different. So as many of you are aware, I am currently putting the finishing touches on my debut book, The Hidden Science of Melanin. So The Hidden Science of Melanin will be available to purchase very soon. Yes, the wait is nearly over, family. The book will be available to purchase within the next month or so. And trust me, I am so excited. So excited. But yeah, to gather the information that appears in the book, I had to do a lot of reading. I had to read a lot of melanin books. One book I read was from Professor Carol Barnes. This book right here, entitled Melanin, The Chemical Key to Black Greatness. Now in this book, he breaks down what makes melanin great in lots of detail. And large up the people who are just joining us. Big up the family. I see you, family. Large up the chat. But yeah, tonight is about melanin and greatness, family. And I've been reading this book, Melanin, the Chemical Key to Black Greatness. Now, in this book, he breaks down what makes melanin great, and I've included some of his findings in my book. And here's an excerpt from his book. It says, in this report, we will discuss melanin with regard to its chemical properties or chemical personality. And then he goes on to say, this approach may begin to help the Black human realize his greatness and super potential. The chemical structure of melanin is shown in figure 1. I'm going to show you it in a second. Please take a good look at this chemical structure and commit it to memory. Copy the structure on paper repeatedly. This will help you to memorize it in an easy manner. Copy the structure. You should be very familiar with it. It has caused the Black human much bloodshed and suffering just because it is Black. However, Black humans, please remember, melanin is a very great and marvelous molecule because it organizes and supports virtually all areas within your body and keeps you in constant contact with the chemistries of the universe. Now I'm going to show you the figure 1, which he was talking about. So this is it here. And just look at the molecule. This is the melanin molecule in all its glory. Just look at it. It's huge. It is absolutely huge. So that is the melanin molecule. And throughout the book, he keeps on saying melanin organizes. He says that it organizes cells, it organizes tissues, it organizes organs to do their job. And he even mentions that it organizes water, like it can organize the electricity within water, which I touch on in my book as well. So yeah, melanin is a very powerful organizing molecule. And as it's the start of a new year, you know, when people start a new year, they're always organizing and planning their year, organizing and planning. That's what New Year's resolutions are about. So because of that, I thought I'd do something different for tonight's class. So I'm going to give you my top 10 tips to melanin greatness for 2022. It's a bit of a mouthful, but that's what we're going to be going through tonight, family. My top 10 tips to melanin greatness for 2022. But stay with me. This should be interesting. Now, before I start, if you agree or disagree with any of my tips, feel free to let me know in the chat, or better still, go live at the end of the podcast when I open up the floor. All right, so let's begin. And by the way, this is just through my own observation. Like, I study the greats, so through my observation, I feel like these characteristics, these traits are what the greats kind of abide by. But let's see what you guys think. Here's number 1. Number 1 is accept the journey. So I'm hoping these 10 tips helps everyone tonight. I'm sure some of you have New Year resolutions. I'm sure some of you are planning stuff for this new year. So with that in mind, the first thing you need to do is accept the journey. This means you need to accept where you are on the journey and accept the bumps you may encounter on the journey. At this time of year, it makes sense to use a New Year's resolution example to illustrate my point. So think about what many people do around this time. They make New Year's resolutions that for the most part are around health and weight loss. Now, if you accept that that's the journey you are about to embark on, it would be naive to think that there's not going to be any obstacles along the way or some pain along the way. Obviously there is. There's going to be obstacles, there's going to be pain, there's going to be ups and downs. Anyone who's tried to go back to the gym after being away from it for some time knows how hard it is to get back into the gym, using like a health and fitness analogy, and how much pain just exercising is when you haven't moved your body for a long time. So just starting to do squats, you might start feeling pain in your legs and that sort of stuff. But that comes with the territory. Sometimes it might make you feel like you don't want to move, like, oh my gosh, I haven't been moving for a long time. Now I start moving, now I'm in pain. But move you must, as the journey is continuous. So you have to accept the pain that comes along with your journey. Obviously, don't cause yourself pain, but understand it's part of life. It's part of life's journey. Using the gym analogy, if you're in the gym and you're trying to get stronger, some of those sessions may be painful. If you're someone who's trying to lose weight this year, some of those morning runs may be painful, if not physically, mentally. So we all have to face one or two pains in our lives. The pain of regret or the pain of discipline. Now, regret weighs a ton and gets heavier the more we do it. Now, discipline might weigh a ton too, but discipline's weight decreases more. You know, the more you do something with discipline, the more the weight of discipline decreases. You know, life accumulates. So you're either going to accumulate debt from, you know, not doing the things you're supposed to be doing and feel sorry about that, which will give you the feeling of regret, or you're going to accumulate value and experiences that you'll feel happy about, which will lead to achievement and fulfillment. So we're all going to go through pain, family. And you have a choice. You can either suffer the pain of discipline or suffer the pain of regret. So that's number one. On to number two. Whatever happens, take responsibility. All too often when something bad happens, we want to point the finger and blame others. And maybe, probably they are to blame. But the point of responsibility is what? The point of responsibility is what can you do about that situation now? How are you going to respond? That's what responsibility means, right? Your ability to respond. So even though something may have happened that you didn't want to happen, you always have control over how you want to respond to it now. And how you respond to it should add to your greatness. Remember, tonight is about melanin and greatness. So how you respond will add to your greatness. It shouldn't take away from your greatness. In other words, how you respond to difficult situations should be a testament to how great you are. Number three, improve how you communicate. Now, for those, I can see the numbers still going up. For those, if you've just joined us, I'm going through my top 10 tips to melanin greatness for 2022. And we're on number 3 right now. So these are my top 10 tips for melanin greatness in 2022. Number 3 is improve how you communicate. If you want to be great, you'll need to improve how you communicate. With who? With others, obviously, but especially with yourself. I think this is a big one because how you communicate with yourself is usually in your head and not out loud. So we don't shout out, I'm useless, or I can't do this, it's too hard. We don't say those things out loud, but we'll think it. And as soon as we think it, our subconscious mind listens and makes it a reality. So speak greatness into yourself. This is what we need to do for 2022. And these say repeat 1 and 2. I'm going to repeat them all. Actually, let me just quickly go over 1 and 2 right now. Hold on 1 second. 1. Instead of me going back that way, accept the journey. Number 1 is accept the journey. So some people can type this in the chat if they don't want to miss it. Number 1 is accept the journey. Number 2 is whatever happens, take responsibility. So accept the journey, and whatever happens, take responsibility. And then number 3 is improve how you communicate with yourself first. So you have to speak greatness into yourself. A lot of times when we're speaking, we don't even realize what we're saying. We're talking to ourselves in our mind and we're very negative. Yeah. But we need to speak greatness into yourself and back up what you're saying with action. Many people believe in like positive thinking and positive affirmations, but these things are only powerful if they're backed up with action. Sport is always a great analogy to use for this one. So check these clips out. Actually, I'll just show you one. This is LeBron James. Now, Most people consider LeBron James the greatest player in the world, greatest basketball player in the world. But in this short clip, I'm going to show you that he got interviewed at 16 years old. And just listen to what he said at 16 years old.
Finally, it could all end tonight. LeBron James doesn't want it to. And listen to what he said at 16. Here's Paula Ferris.
Curry steps back.
If the Cavaliers lose tonight to the younger, fresher Stephen Curry-led Warriors,
Another three from Curry.
their season is over.
James puts up a three. He got it.
But LeBron is having the best finals of his career and one of the best in NBA history, leading both teams in points, assists, and minutes played, never doubting his chances.
I feel confident because I'm the best player in the world.
Greatness has been his goal since he was a teen.
Do you want to be the best?
Yeah.
Greatness has been his goal since he was a teen. Now, I've watched the whole of this clip, and the guy asks him questions like, so what do you want to do when you grow up? And he's like, I want to be the best player in the NBA. He was 16 years old, and the guy's asking him, what do you want to do when you grow up? He didn't think of anything else. Like, I want to play in the NBA. I want to be the best player in the NBA. That's when you're speaking greatness into yourself. That there's no self-doubt. You're just talking that greatness, that power into yourself. And I'm sure he had people around him. He talks about his mum as well. His mum probably spoke greatness into him as well. His friends, his coaches. But you have to do that to yourself, family. You got to do that to yourself. You got to improve the way you communicate with yourself. Large Up Show, who's putting the numbers in the chat so people can write them down and refer back to them. So number 3 is improve how you communicate with yourself. And think about how much self-belief you need to have to fulfill something like that. At 16 years old, 16, he's telling the world that he's going to be the greatest basketball player. And then later on in his 30s, he's the greatest basketball player. And he's telling the world, I've got confidence in myself because I know I'm the best. Like, think about how powerful your communication with yourself would need to be. So speak greatness into yourself. Refuse to lie to yourself. Be true to yourself. This is all still under number 3, family. Be true to yourself. These are all the traits of the greats. I've been doing my research. The greats seem to have these types of traits. Like, check out this clip from, this is quite rare actually. Check out this rare clip from Tupac Shakur. Listen to what he says.
I can't explain why I shine and no one else shines. I think everybody shines in different things. And a lot of things I can't do. I can't play basketball like every other black person in America. But I can act. I know how to go to that true spot in myself because I'm there every day. I can be me. I can be whoever because I'm true to me. I can go to neutral easily. A lot of people, black, white, Mexican, young or old, fat or skinny, have a problem being true to themselves. They have a problem looking in the mirror and looking directly into their own souls. The reason I sell 6 million records, the reason I can go to jail and come out without a scratch, the reason I can walk around, the reason I am who I am today is because I can look directly into my face and find my soul. It's there. It's not sold. I didn't sell it. It's still within me. I still feel it. My heart is still connected to my body. So I could, any character, I'm going to bring that intensity, that truth, that honesty to it because I have to repent.
How powerful is that clip? The great Tupac Shakur speaking that truth, saying he's confident. He's just, you know, he's very confident in his own abilities because he speaks truth to himself. He's true to himself at all times. So that's what we need to do. Speak truth to ourselves. The truth is always the best way to communicate with yourself and others. And we did a wellness weekender. Large Up Charles in the chat, I see you. We did a wellness weekender last month in Watford. Shout out to all the people that attended. I see some of you in the chat. So Large Up Kaz, I see you. So yeah, we did a wellness weekender and it was a mental health wellness weekender. So all the speakers were talking about, you know, ways to strengthen the mind for success and that sort of stuff. One of the speakers was Leah Salmon, the Naturally You coach. Big up Leah. And one of the things she said stuck with me. She said in her talk, the truth is always that I can. Who remembers that from the weekender when Leah said, the truth is always that I can. You should be saying that to yourself. That's the truth always. Yeah. So speak truthfully to yourself. Speak greatness into yourself. Refuse to lie to yourself. All right. On to number 4. Study thyself to know thyself. Study thyself to know thyself. Study your Black history. Study your family history. Study your own behavior. Study everything about you. Study your words. Study your communication. Study melanin, because that's a big part of what makes you, you. So yes, family, when my book drops, it will help you to know yourself. Study all of these things. You should be your favorite subject to study. Read every day. Read every day, at least 10 pages a day. And it should be helping you to understand yourself more. Because once you know yourself, you'll know you're destined for greatness, even before anyone else sees it. Some may even question why you're so confident. Like, check out these clips. I'm going to show you some clips of when the Williams sisters were younger. I don't know if anyone's seen these clips. These clips are quite powerful. They were like 14 and 15 at the time or something like that. But in these clips, you're going to see Venus and Serena Williams getting interviewed, yeah? Before all the fame and the accolades and all that sort of, before everyone knew or saw their greatness, listen to how they spoke when they were like teenagers. Listen to their answers to the interviewers' questions and notice how confident they are at such a young age.
Here's a question I'm sure you've been asked more than once.
Yes.
What do you want to be when you grow up?
Tennis player. I would like to be a tennis player.
If there's something else you wanted to be, what would it be?
So they both said, I want to be a tennis player. And then the interviewer was like, well, is there something else you want to be? Like to say, come on, man, don't be stupid. You two, tennis players. Because remember, where did they come from? They came from the ghetto. They came from Compton. Yeah. But that's it. They were like, we want to be the same way LeBron James said, I want to be the best player in the NBA. Serena and Venus Williams were like, we just want to be tennis players. And then the interviewer tries to ask them, well, what else? Because the interviewer is probably looking at these two little pick-me from Compton thinking, there's no way you two are going to be tennis players. Stop being silly. It's like the interviewer can't believe their greatness. He can't believe the greatness that is oozing out of them at that age. I mean, listen to this clip, yeah? And pay attention to the interviewer's response. The interviewer is going to ask Serena Williams a question. Listen to Serena Williams' response and then listen to the interviewer. It's like she's flabbergasted, like, oh my gosh, listen.
If you were a tennis player, who would you want to be like?
Well, I like other people to be like me.
That's a good answer.
Born in Compton, California.
Did you hear that? The interviewer asked Serena, if you was a tennis player, because remember, you two are not going to become tennis players, but if you was a tennis player, who would you want to be like? And then Serena was like, listen, I want people to be like me. And then my lady was like, good answer. Like, that's never going to happen, but good answer. It's like they cannot believe the greatness that is oozing out of these young children at this age, yeah? Now, these interviewers sometimes can't even control their fascination. It's like they're fascinated with our greatness, yeah? But sometimes they can't control it. Sometimes they can't control their fascination with our greatness. And sometimes they cross the line in these interviews. So in this next clip, the interviewer asks Venus why she's so confident. The interviewer asks Venus why she's so confident that she's going to be a champion one day in tennis. Listen.
Did you think you could beat her?
I know I can beat her.
You know you can beat her. Very confident.
I'm very confident.
You say it so easily. Why?
Because I believe it.
Cut right here, if you don't mind. And let me tell you why. What she said it with so much confidence the first time. But if you keep going on and on,
Listen, we can't keep interrupting. I mean, if you want...
You got to understand that you're dealing with an image of a 14-year-old child. And this child gonna be out there playing when your old ass and me gonna be in the grave. When she say something, we done told you what's happening. You're dealing with a little black kid, and let her be a kid. She done answered it with a lot of confidence. Leave that alone.
What? Jeez. These people are a nasty piece of work. Heather said it. They're a nasty piece of work, you know. You see the way the interviewer was talking to a 14-year-old child. And big up King Richard, the dad, for stepping in and checking him. Because you could tell that that interview was about to go sideways. You could tell that that interview was about to get awkward and inappropriate. I even like the way he was looking at her. Like, you're so confident. Why? Like, what? 14 years old. And you gotta think, a lot of people talk about the dad, but imagine if he wasn't there. Imagine if he wasn't there and these people are talking to our greatness, our black brilliance like this. It's scary to think about if you think about it. All right, so that's that one. Number 5. And by the way, family, just so you know, just so whoever's putting it in the chat, remember, number 4 was study thyself in order to know thyself. Because once you know yourself, you'll know you're great before everyone else does. So those clips showed that LeBron James, Serena Williams, Venus, they knew they were great before everyone else does, to the point where it was fascinating people how confident they were. All right, number 5 is find your purpose. And everything we've covered so far will help you do this. So accepting the journey, which was number 1. Number 2 was taking responsibility. Number 3, improve how you communicate with yourself. Number 4, study thyself to know thyself. Definitely doing all of these things will help you with finding your purpose, especially that last one. The more you know yourself, the more things become clearer. And the more clearer things become, the more the universe reveals to you. Soon the universe will reveal the reason if you don't know it already. Because everyone, absolutely everyone, is here for a reason. So we need clarity. We need clarity through knowledge of self, which will lead you to that reason. And my book will help as well, because again, knowledge of self should include knowledge of, you know, science and knowledge of melanin as well, because that makes up a lot of who you are. So that is number 5, family. On to number 6. Now this one's very interesting. Let me see what the family think about this one. Number 6 is do everything on purpose. And it links to number 5. So number 5 was find your purpose. Number 6 is do everything on purpose. This is a big one and a very difficult one to do. Everything you do should be on purpose. You should eat food on purpose. How is the food you're eating going to help you on your journey? How is it going to help you with your purpose? You should study online on purpose. You should read books on purpose. How is the book you're currently reading going to help you fulfill your purpose? Study on purpose. Train on purpose. Do everything on purpose. Someone in the chat says, like, be intentional. Yes, I'm actually going to touch on that in a second. But do everything on purpose. And yes, intention is part of that. That's actually coming up. That's number 7. But yeah, do everything on purpose. We're so distracted by what's going on in the world today, by the news, by social media, that sometimes we don't even realize when we're doing things that's not in alignment with our true purpose. When you're heading towards greatness, everything you do and say is on purpose. Now, obviously, you don't treat people bad on purpose, because that should never be your true purpose anyway. Your true purpose will always be something you love doing. And so your intentions will be pure. That's the aim anyway. If your purpose is something you love doing, you intentionally do actions that are in alignment with your true purpose. So what actions are you doing this year that are on purpose? Or what actions are you going to do this year that are on purpose, that are directly in alignment with your purpose? That's a question to everyone listening right now, which leads us nicely onto number 7. Now listen to the distinction, because they're similar, but they're different. Number 6 was do everything on purpose. And number 7, very closely related, is align your intentions with your actions. Align your intentions with your actions. Actions outweigh intentions. Think about the person whose intention is to lose weight. It's been their intention for years, yet there's no disciplined action behind it. If that's the case, do they lose weight? Help me out in the chat, family. If your intention is to lose weight, but you don't have any disciplined action behind it, do you lose weight? No. If anything, you'll gain weight. If someone has the intention to lose weight, but no disciplined action behind it, they will probably gain weight. But it wasn't their intention to gain weight. I'm sure you've heard that before. I'm sure you've heard people say things like that before. It's the typical response to someone who's not fully following their purpose, who's not fully on purpose. They'll say things like, but it wasn't my intention. Who's heard that? If you're being honest, who's heard that before? Yeah. You may hear someone say that when they've done something wrong. I didn't intend to hurt you. Or they might say, it wasn't my intention for that to happen. This shows that the person's behavior and words are not on purpose. In other words, their behavior and their words are not in alignment with each other. True alignment is when everything you do and say is on purpose. So whatever you did, you intended to do that. Whatever you said, you intended to say that. Whatever happened from what you did, you intended that to happen. You intended it to happen. I'll give you a quick example. Yeah, I'm going to give you a quick example. So as I mentioned earlier, last month, which was this was the last event of the year for us, we did the Wellness Weekender. Yeah, a 3-day Wellness Weekender. Again, shout out to all the people that came down. It was truly a loving, memorable, unforgettable time for everyone who attended. It was so amazing. Unforgettable, memorable, and a loving, warm time for everyone. And guess what? That was my intention. It was my intention to make sure everyone felt loved and appreciated at the Weekender. It was my intention to remember everyone's names, even though there was nearly 100 people there. It was my intention to create a family atmosphere where everyone felt relaxed and at home. So when attendees were leaving at the end saying things like, this was such an amazing time. I felt so relaxed and loved, and it felt like I was around family. I weren't surprised, because that was my intention. Does that make sense, family? No one should be misconstruing your words or your behavior, because they should be in alignment with each other. So everything you do, you intended to do. And on the very rare occasion where you do something that you didn't intend to do, just take responsibility for the action without defending the intention. You don't need to say, oh, it wasn't my intention. No. Actions are always stronger than intentions. Actions are always stronger than intentions, but we tend to defend the intention. No. Take responsibility for the action. I wonder if this is making sense. Let me know, family. Is this making sense to you or not? If you intend on healing this year, then an action has to be behind that. If you intend on healing from, I don't know, an injury or anything you suffered from last year, or you intend on being more healthy this year, what actions are you doing this year that are in alignment with that intention? This is such a big one for us to understand, and I truly hope this is making sense. Intention is not enough. If you want to be great, there needs to be action that matches the intention. Like the old saying goes, action speaks louder than words. So the key is to make sure your actions and words are in alignment with each other. All right, so that was number 7, family. People saying it's making sense. All right, nice one, family. All right, moving on. Number 8 is love yourself. Now, every time I do this a lot with people, especially Black people, and they always say, yeah, I love myself. I love myself. And I truly believe that. I feel like every Black person loves themselves. So what I'll say is, love yourself more. Love yourself more. Because again, most people will say that they love themselves, and this is probably true. But just like your intentions, you prove that you love yourself with actions. You have to prove that you love yourself with actions. So check out this clip. This is a clip from a Black Love event that I did a couple years ago. Now, I know some of you have probably seen this clip before, but for the people who haven't seen this clip, this is where I break down what loving yourself should truly look like. Listen to this.
Who loves themselves? Hands up. Okay, that wasn't as many as last time. But you see, when it comes to loving yourself, when I asked if someone said they love you, is that proof that they do? What did you lot say? No. So if you say you love yourself, is that proof that you do? So what do you need to do to prove that you love yourself? Action. So, do you eat like you love yourself? Like if I was to observe what you eat on a daily, weekly or monthly basis, would I be like watching what you eat like, you love yourself, yeah? Do you eat like you love, do you move like you love yourself? Do you exercise every day? You love your body, so you move it every day, you exercise every day, you're out in the sunshine, you can find it every day, you get fresh air every day, you drink plenty of fresh water every day because you love yourself, you know, action, yeah? Do you speak like you love yourself? When no one's around, in your head, is it positive what you say? Is the word can't part of your vocabulary? You know, you hear people say, I don't even like my job, you know. Okay, well, leave it. Nah, I can't. But you love yourself, yeah? You do love yourself. Yeah? Do you speak like you love yourself? And do you act? Action. Do you act like you love yourself?
All right, so that's number 8. Love yourself more, because everyone probably on this webinar right now will say they love themselves. But for 2022, you should love yourself more, yeah? All right, number 9. Number 9 is know that you can come back from anything. This is a big one as well. Know that you can come back from anything. Any start in life, any setback, any adversity, you can come back from it. Doesn't matter what's happened in the past as long as you learn from it. Now, try not to make the same mistakes, obviously, but yeah, learn from it and move forward. This is a big one. People think that their past determines their future. Like a bad past determines a bad future. It don't work that way. You can bounce back from anything. Anything. And there's way too many examples of Black people doing just that. There's way too many examples of Black excellence, Black greatness, Black people who have had the terrible starts in life and come back and turn their life around. Way too many for me to list here right now. Plus time is ticking and I want to finish up. So that's number 9, family. Know that you can come back from anything. And then lastly, number 10, don't wait to be great. Don't wait. Whatever you want to achieve in life, take steps towards achieving it this year. Don't wait. Do it now. And there you have it. That was my top 10 tips. That was my top 10 tips to melanin greatness for 2022. Follow these tips and you'll be well on your way to melanin greatness. And oh, by the way, family, speaking of melanin greatness, my debut book entitled The Hidden Science of Melanin will officially go on sale next month. And those who are in any of my WhatsApp groups, you will receive the pre-order link very, very soon. Yes, it's going to be official next month, family. So whoever's in my WhatsApp groups or the Telegram groups or the Signal group, you're going to get the pre-order link very soon. So you guys can get it before everyone else. And I am so excited for you guys to open up this book. My Lord, oh my goodness. So much valuable knowledge. So many gems that will help you with your health, your outlook on life, and knowledge yourself. Yeah, can't wait for this to drop. So make sure you guys jump on the pre-order links. Make sure you get that. And I'll be putting the links in the chat. Not in the chat, in the WhatsApp groups very soon. This month. So you guys will get it before Amazon. You guys will get it before the bookstores and all that sort of stuff. Yeah? Yes, indeed. All right, family. Let's see who wants to go live and ask questions or make your comments. I see a couple questions in the Q&A, so I'll answer them. But if you have any questions or comments on the top 10 tips, if you agree or disagree, let me know. So let's go through. Let me come out of this. Let's see who wants to go live or who's got some questions. So I'm just going to go into the Q&A, family. All right, this question says, Peace, Leon. Peace, Leon. How long have you been putting the book together? Okay, so the book, basically for the last 10 years or so, I've been making lots and lots of notes on melanin and everything basically in my phone and just in notepads and that sort of stuff. So I was never thinking about writing a book, never thinking about writing a melanin book, that is. But I'd just be making notes on science, making notes on melanin, making notes on anatomy and physiology for over 10 years. So I had a notepad full of notes on melanin for the last 10 years. But it weren't until last year, I gotta give big up my brother in science, Joe Dash, when he came out with his book, and me and him started to speak last year, the beginning of last year, and I was like, congratulations on your book, man, that's amazing. Joe Dash came out with a melanin book, and the fact that he's from the UK, I was just like, big up, man, that's so amazing. And he was like, bro, you need a book, fam, you need to come out with your own melanin book. And I was like, yeah, man, but that would take forever. He's like, nah, man, do it. And then I was thinking, no, I've got all the notes. I've been making notes for the last 5-10 years, whatever, so I could just put the notes together and put the book together. So that's what I did. So yeah, from early last year, I said, yeah, I'm gonna do it. So it's taken me just under a year to do it, and it will be ready for you guys next month. All right, let me see if there's any other, hold on, let me see if there's any hands raised. All right, so I see a couple hands raised. Dion, I see your hand raised. So you can unmute your mic, sis, if you want to ask a question or talk live. And whilst you're trying to find your mic, let me go to Kauda. Kauda, if you're there, brother, you can unmute your mic.
Yeah, I'm there.
Yes, King.
You respect King?
Yes, everything cool?
Yeah, man. Everything's blessed, man. You know, happy Kwanzaa.
Happy Kwanzaa, my bro. So what did you think of the 10 tips?
Well, I think that your 10 tips was very interesting.
Yeah.
I'm not, well, I've never really thought about, you know, I mean, the melanin greatness and, excuse me, putting a top 10, but I think, you know what I mean, from your top 10, I think I could go with the top 10. But the one that stuck out for me was number 5, you know, finding your purpose.
Yes, indeed.
Because, you know, I mean, I know I'm here for a reason, but I still haven't put my finger on that reason as yet. And I just want to know, how did you find your purpose? Because I know I've been through a lot of scrapes. One was where some truckers hit my car and I survived, and the only thing that was left in my car was me and my driver's seat. Everything else was squashed up. And I don't know how I survived. And a doctor was on their way to work and they actually saw the accident and they actually spoke to me, so I didn't go into a coma or, you know what I mean, go into shock or anything. So I've always said I'm here for a purpose. Some of the things have happened for me and I shouldn't be here, but I'm here.
Yeah.
And I just want to know what I'm here for a reason, but the purpose, I still haven't quite got there. So I just know, how did you find your purpose? Because I'm hoping that your 10 will help me find my purpose, because
yes,
I've
indeed,
not really followed the 10, but now that's given me some
goodness,
some greatness, some scope to do it. So hopefully I should be able to find my purpose along the way.
Yeah, I definitely feel like the 10 will help. So if we go from number 1, you got to accept the journey, wherever journey, or accept where you are. So accept that you don't know your purpose right now. You know, just accept that and know that it's going to come to you. And number 2 was, whatever happens, take responsibility. So don't blame anyone for anything. Anything that happens to you, just take responsibility. And then improving how you communicate with yourself and others as well. Just the way you're thinking and that sort of stuff. But to me, what helped me a lot is number 4, study thyself to know thyself. So your story sounds very similar to mine. I nearly died in a car accident as well. And yeah, went through a few issues, like mental issues, if I'm being honest, afterwards. And what brought me back from that is studying self. And I've got the greatest family in the world. We all studied together. So we all read books together as a family, and books that helped me to understand myself and that sort of stuff. So it was really powerful. But yeah, I think the whole top 10, just going through the ones that you know you can do, will definitely help you to find your purpose. But I kind of said it earlier that even if you don't know your purpose is going to be in alignment with something that you love doing. Something that you love doing. So whatever your purpose is, you got to gravitate towards things that you love doing, and gravitate towards things that bring you enthusiasm. So you see me, when I start talking about melanin and when I start dropping science, I'm enthusiastic. So that's how I knew this is something here. Do you get me? There's something here where you're enthusiastic about doing it. And that's when you know you're doing it. And for a lot of people, it may not be something that they think is something great. It might just be they're enthusiastic about having children. So for them, that's their purpose. Everyone is here for a reason. So everyone's purpose is going to be different. Not everyone's going to be a Serena Williams and a LeBron James.
Oh no, yeah.
So it's just follow your joy, follow what things that enthuse you, and it will lead you closer to the purpose. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think I kind of do anyway, but you know, I mean, like you said, because no one's actually explained that to me, that could be my purpose. I'm like you said, I'm not going to be a Serena Williams or you know, I mean, LeBron James and all that. But I was thinking, did I need to go down that road? Even just like, you know what I mean, yourself and Andrew Mohammed, you know what I mean? Am I going to go down that road? But I don't, like I said, now you explain that to me, I feel like I don't need to pressure myself now for thinking that I'm going to be somebody massive, you know what I mean?
Exactly. It's not, everyone's purpose is different.
It's different. And because I know within myself, you know, within my family, you know what I mean, they respect me for stuff that I help them with or what I can do. And I'm always there for them, you know, when they need me through thick and thin, you know.
That's it. That might be the purpose, just making sure you're there for your family. You know, who knows? You may not even realize the effect that's having on your family members and that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
You change your lives and you don't even realize it. Yeah.
Respect, man.
Large up family. Big up for that. Let me see if I can get Dion. Your hand was raised, but you didn't say anything. So let's go to Grace. I see your hand raised, Grace.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Excellent. Thank you so much for this evening. It was fascinating, really interesting.
Thank you.
I love your talk on, you know, the purpose. And to be quite honest, I'm an accountant, but I think I accidentally stepped into my purpose during the George Floyd shocking murder and what happened. And on the back of that, myself and a number of us set up this Saturday school for Black children, giving them a free education. It's free of charge to all children. And it was
Wow.
about what could we do to now help our community. So
Wow.
that's when you talk about purpose and, you know, stepping out in just because of you're convicted.
Yeah.
But my question is really regarding your book, and I'm really, really, really excited. But, you know, change has to come with the next generation, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So does your book really speak to our children, our youth of today? Because we don't want them to make the mistakes that we or my generation particularly has made in terms of not loving their skin. You know, I know many from my community, which is the African community, who have bleached and all this nonsense. So what can we do to instill the love of who we are with our young people? Will your book be able to reach them, is my question.
Thank you for that, sis. That's such a good question. So yeah, when I was putting the book together, that's all I was thinking about. I was just thinking about how I'm going to get through to the children, how I'm going to get through to the young people. Will they be able to pick it up and understand it? So everything that I was saying, I was like, okay, is my nephew going to understand this? You know, I'm thinking about young people, like, is my teenage nephew going to understand this? Kind of, if I give him this chapter, will he be able to understand it? So I was going through it like that. With all the chapters, there are some chapters that it's a bit sciencey, but everything that I've put in there, I've broken it down, very simplified. And it's one of those books where I want people to just reference it for the next, I don't know, 100 years or whatever. Even if they don't understand it at 10, they can pick it up at 20. You know, and some of the stuff that went over their head at 10, at 20, it will start to make sense to them. Yeah. So large up for that, sis. I'm hoping like that it really does change the consciousness of some young people. It's just that we need to get them to read it. And young people are so distracted, getting them to sit down and read a book, thinking, why do I need to read this? But trust me, for everyone that's listening right now, if you got children, if you got young people, if they open up this book and finish it, I guarantee you it will change their consciousness. I guarantee it. There's things in this book, there's no way they can argue with, and there's no way they can't be like, what? Wow, me? I can do that? Like, all I need for them is to open it and then finish it. That's all. And then we got them. Trust me. All right, let me move on, family. Couple more, and then we're going to jump off. MKF, you've got your hand up. So MKF, you can unmute your mic.
Hi, hello.
Hey.
Happy 2022.
Happy 2022.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you so much for doing this. Yeah, it's very touching. My name is Melanie. My mother called me Melanie after Melanin.
What?
She let me know what my name meant from a very young age, growing up. Amazing. And when I used to tell people what my name meant, they used to go, "Oh, you don't. That doesn't mean it. That's not what your name means. You don't know this. You don't know that." And I'll be like, "Okay, yeah, it's true. That's what melanin is." I used to talk about it my own self, but I just, left it, never really spoke. But I know my name is greatness. And I'm really, really happy that you've done this. And I knew it would come up one day and it would be spoken about. And I was just waiting for the time and the place. And thank you so much. And I'll be coming for a personal signed copy.
Thank you, sis.
What you are doing is just absolutely fabulous. I could be on this podcast all night talking. This is not the time, but yeah.
No, I appreciate you for
much. I always wanted to come in here and speak live. I always watch the recording.
Okay, this is your first time live.
I've listened to you live, but I've not spoken.
Okay.
But I normally listen to the recording. I think it's my second one live. Yeah.
Oh, thank you, sis. Thank you for that. All right, so that was Melanie, and we're gonna move on to Malcolm now. So Malcolm, you've got your hand raised. You can unmute your mic, Malcolm. Let's see if Malcolm wants to talk. No, Malcolm. All right, I've lowered everyone's hands. If anyone else wants to talk right now, here's your chance. All right, Ken. And Diana. Ken, let's see if you can unmute your mic. And if not...
Can you hear me?
Yes, Ken.
Oh, fantastic. Hello, Leon. Hello, everyone. Greetings. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, I was really looking forward to today's class. Yeah, and been following your work for quite some time. I think especially for the past 2 years or so that I've been attending some of the classes and events as well. So it has been quite inspirational for myself and my family as well. One thing just want to get your tips on is the focus and enjoyment towards reading. I know this is sometimes a personal thing. Some people are more prone to read and they learn by reading books. Other people may learn through visual cues and other methods. And I'm the type of person that when I was young, there wasn't really a lot of opportunities and encouragement to reading. So I didn't grow up loving reading. Only now that I'm an adult and with work and stuff that I had to instill the habit of reading. And I know that melanin is a subject that really fascinates me and I'm kind of discovering as I go along. But yet I'm still struggle with everything that goes on with, home life and everything else to find that time and dedicate myself to not just educate myself, but educate my children as well. So like what sort of clues or tips can you give to improve that ability and enjoyment to reading? And a lady just spoke, I think it was Melanin, about instilling that into children as well, so we can help the next generation. So I don't have my children having the same sort of issues as I did when I was young.
Thanks for that question, Ken. That's a good question as well. So with regards to what can we do with regards to like reading or just learning about melanin, it doesn't always have to be reading. Like I used to do audio books and that sort of stuff. I used to listen to audio whilst I go training, exercising out in the park, and I'm just listening to audios. I'd download YouTube videos into MP, make them into MP3 so I could put them on, my phone and listen to them just as an audio. Yeah, so a lot of Dr. Leila Africa's lectures, a lot of Dr. Richard King's lectures, a lot of those lectures that are online still today, I made them into MP3s and just literally made like my own audio tapes of melanin and listening, because a lot of the times, and I'm sure a lot of you who have tried to study melanin find when you read these books, even when it's from one of our folks, one of our scholars, sometimes the language is so difficult to understand that you're reading the book and you're like, right, I'm trying to read this melanin book, but by the end of it, you're still kind of confused. You still don't know what the words mean and that sort of stuff. So I've tried to simplify what the melanin scholars have simplified. So when they came out with their books, they tried to simplify what, the European scientists have found about melanin. So they tried to simplify. I've tried to simplify what they've simplified. So hopefully the person who comes after me will simplify what I've simplified, and hopefully that will make it better and better and better. But with regards to the children reading it, I seriously think that one, if we can get them hooked on something that pertains to their life, so them finding their purpose. If you said this book is going to help you with your purpose and they get intrigued on that, I feel like that would help. Any young people in their 20s having babies, this book is going to blow their mind, because melanin is very much involved in embryogenesis and pregnancy and that sort of stuff. So I feel like if we can just get something that they're interested in and say, hey, you see what you're interested in, it's in this book, and then they get the book and then kind of relate it that way. I don't know. That's what I think. But anyone in the family who can give us some more tips on how we can get the youngsters to read books and definitely read this book that's coming out, please let us know. All right. Dinah, can you unmute your mic?
Greetings, Leon. Greetings.
Greetings, sis. How are you?
I'm okay. I'm okay.
Good to hear your voice.
I'm okay. And how are you? I know you're good.
I'm very well, thank you. I'm very
Yes.
well.
Yes, and well, you know, I've been there from the beginning, Leon, and I love you like a son because the work that you do, is fantastic. And these the 10 purposes that you've done, they're really good. I've been writing them all down so I can go over it and have a look at it. And I hope everybody will look at it and make it be a stepping stone for the new beginnings that we're entering, because we're going to need it. We are going to need to love thyself, what we're going through right now. And I know you're a big help in the community, and I just want to say, just keep up that good work that you do, because it's brilliant and it's fantastic. And I try and send us so much messages, because you know where I'm way down north, way up north.
Yeah.
And it's never been a problem going down to London to listen to you, to see you and be there, you know. And I've been out of the country, but I'm here, but I'm going to be leaving again, because you know, with the cold, I'm trying to get out of the cold for a bit.
Good idea. Definitely. Yeah.
The bones are getting old now.
Need that sun.
Try and listen to you, you know, and spread the word, because I know you break down a lot of things and you just simplify a lot of things, you know.
Thank you, sister. Really appreciate you.
Yeah,
Thank
I
you.
appreciate you, and I'll always love you till I die.
I love you too. I love you too, sister.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. All right, Diane. Diane, you can unmute your mic.
Hi,
Hey.
can you hear me?
Yes. How are you, sis?
Happy 2022, happy everything.
Happy New Year.
Live, and lots of peace and joy going out to everyone, and spiritual strength for what we're about to come up against.
You sound a bit distant, sis.
How do I?
Yeah.
I'm listening to the phone, but you know what? The phone is on the Bluetooth, so I'm listening to you on Bluetooth, so that's probably what it is.
Oh.
Is that better now?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, so what I wanted to say was, for if you want your kids to read, if you want them to read more, when they're really young, you've got to read to them, read out loud to them, sort of like read the newspaper as well.
Yeah.
And not too much of the newspaper, but read anything that you can out loud to them.
Yeah.
And encourage them. And that way they will start reading they will start to love reading, because they'll love to hear the spoken word. And my son, every time you saw him growing up, he always had a book in his hand. I mean, that's when he was about 16, that kind of changed a bit, but he always, at school, he always had his book in his hand that he was reading. And it's just a wonderful thing to love to do. And like you were saying, find something that they're interested in, but start from when they're young. And I think a lot of people don't actually understand that when they're babies, read to them. Those little baby books, read everything out loud to them. Encourage them with the words. Just ask them to spell a word or anything to do with reading. And
those are some good tips, definitely.
Really, and also like even when we sing, because singing as well, you know, we know we love to play music. So
yeah.
We sing the lyrics. So what did they just say? You know, and like the kids, they know the lyrics to all the songs nowadays. But it's like, can you write a lyric? So as they start writing lyrics, then they'll start reading more as well.
Yes.
So there's so many different things that we can encourage them with for them to really take on the reading. But it really is, or you just say to them, "Oh, can you read that to me? Can you read that to me? I want to hear your voice. I want to, encourage them." You know.
That's it.
Yeah.
Thank you for that, sis. Those are some really good examples. So I hope people are making notes, because we all need to do this. We all need to encourage our children to read more and, get involved with doing things that are going to help them to know themselves in the future or from early. So thank you for that, sis. Appreciate it.
No worries. And thank you, Leon, for everything that you're doing. Like everyone said, it's just amazing. You're a wonderful young man, and we just thank you for getting yourself out there, you and your sister setting up the platforms that you have and partnering with people like Leo. Sorry, no, that's not his name. What is his name?
Andrew Muhammad.
Andrew Muhammad. I keep on thinking the other guy, but Andrew Muhammad, and it's just wonderful. So thank you guys for all your hard work and dedication.
Thank you,
people,
sister.
we have to understand how blessed we are to have people of our generation. I mean, you're younger than me, but I mean, it doesn't matter. We're all living at the same time. And it's just wonderful to be able to learn and understand and to just have that little that bit of encouragement. And then it's like, yeah, I'm going to find out more about this. And I'm so excited. So I'm just going to go on, because I joined the call late. So I'm going to look up now where I can buy your book.
Oh, it's not available yet, but it's coming very, very soon, family. It's coming soon.
All right, Leon.
I appreciate you. Thank you for that. Let's go to Jean. Jean, you can unmute your mic.
Hello there, good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening, and best wishes for the new year to everyone who's
And
listening.
you too.
Yeah, I just wanted to say thank you so very much, Leon, for all your hard work and dedication and commitment to presenting such valuable information to us all. You know, today's presentation I have really truly appreciated, and have written down all the things that you suggested as your tips. And really, this is going to be a journey for me if I try to follow, the things that you're suggesting from step 1 right the way down to 10. And I just really wanted to say thank you so very much, and that I'm really looking forward to seeing, the words that you've put to paper and the images that you put alongside in your book. So really to say thank you very much. I really truly appreciate all that you've been doing over the past few months that I've known of you, which started during lockdown. So thank you. Yes, really truly appreciate.
Thank you, Jean. Thank you, sister. And I saw people in the comments saying that they arrived late, so can I go over the 10 tips again? There will be a recording of this, family, so don't worry if you missed any of the stuff. This is going to be a powerful recording because like the sister Jean just said, you guys can use this to help you go through 2022 with a bit more conviction. So yeah, you can break things down, because some of the things may have went over your head, like the on purpose thing and your intention. Well, who knows? But I definitely can't wait to put this back out so you guys can re-listen to it. I can see some people, large up Laura, she's put the 10 in the chat so you guys can write those down. But this is going to be a good one to share with your family as well. Definitely share this with your family. Definitely share this with young people as well. See if they can get into it. Yeah. And with regards to young people in the book, at the end of each chapter, and I'm hoping this will help, at the end of each chapter in my book, The Hidden Science of Melanin, which will be available next month, at the end of each chapter, there's a Q&A, like a multiple choice Q&A. And that's where the young people or whoever reads the book can test their knowledge. And trust me, if they are answering those questions right, it will blow them away, because some of those questions, listen, when they start to realize what melanin can really do, and they realize, then they start looking in the mirror, they're going to be, they're going to be looking at themselves like, the child at the end of Black Panther, the Black Panther movie, where if anyone can remember, right at the end, the child is looking up at Black Panther like, who are you? Who is this amazing person who's in front of me? That was the right at the end of Black Panther. That's how young people are going to be looking at themselves in the mirror after they finish this book. They're going to be looking at themselves in the mirror like, who are you? Who is this amazing person looking back at me? All right, last one, Abimbola. Sister, you can unmute your mic. You're going to be the last one for tonight.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, sis.
Okay, yeah, great. You're doing absolutely superb work. Thank you. I was just thinking, in the long term, I know you're bringing your book out next month, and your 10 steps are brilliant as well. Are you going to consider audiobooks in the future?
Yes, indeed. So I'm trying to, well, not trying to, I'm definitely.
Yeah, that would target the youngsters as well, wouldn't it?
Yes, yeah. And it may help them more than them reading the book. Because like I said, for me, audio helped me a lot to understand melanin. Just listening to those lectures instead of watching them, instead of reading about it, just, you know, doing my everyday tasks and just listening. So yeah, definitely gonna make this book into an audio book after it comes out. Definitely, sis.
Okay, yeah, because I'll definitely give it to my nephews.
Excellent.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, and sis, thanks very much. All right, so there's quite a few questions. Let me see if I can go through some of these before I jump off. Joe says, great talk. Could you repeat tip number 3? So family, who can remember what tip number 3 was for Joe? Let's see if anyone can remember. Tip number 3 was, if you want to be great, you'll need to improve how you communicate with yourself. So tip number 3 is improve communication with yourself. Yeah. And some people are still asking about the tips. So definitely when you get the recording, you'll be able to go over all the tips. Do you think it is important for Black people to meditate? Definitely. That's why it's so hard these days, because we're so distracted with social media. We're so distracted with things on TV and the news and some scary virus and all that sort of stuff. We're distracted. So it's very hard for us to just sit still and meditate. And that's what we were doing at the Wellness Weekender, by the way. So family, make sure you're in our WhatsApp groups. I see my sister's been posting a WhatsApp group. Make sure you're in our WhatsApp groups, because when we post the next one, the next Wellness Weekender, you're going to want to be there, family. You don't want to miss our Wellness Weekenders. And how do we protect ourselves from the radiation from our phones? As I really feel it when I'm listening to all these seminars from you. Yeah, so radiation from phones and laptops, you might have to invest in some shungite. And there's some things that you can eat that will help as well, like Conjus crispus and getting more, is it kelp? I think kelp is good with radiation as well. But yeah, things like that will definitely help with regards to radiation. But yeah, invest in some shungite. There's ones that you can put on the back of your phone that should help. Cheryl says drink green tea, so that may help as well. But yeah, so those are all the questions out of the way. Yes, family, thank you all for joining. Again, I like to keep these short and sweet because I'm thinking about, you know, people listening to the replay and children and that sort of stuff. So we're going to finish up now. And yes, my book is soon coming. But for now, we're going to finish up. So next month or very, very soon, you guys are going to get the pre-order link and then you can start ordering the book. And when you get the pre-order link, you can order the book and you'll just be waiting for it to arrive. So it may not arrive straight away because the pre-order, we might still be printing up the book. So you'll just know that you're going to get it before Amazon gets it. So you'll be able to open it up before everyone else. Yeah. All right. Large Up family. Thanks for everyone for joining, but we're going to finish up right now. Genius. Melanin is the universal organizing molecule. And as you have it in abundance, you have the response, ability to organize your life for greatness. So accept the journey, love yourself more, and do everything on purpose. My name is Leo Marshall, and that concludes the end of PodClass 9. Thank you everyone for being a part of this. You're a part of history, trust me. And just remember, be the light you seek. Just shine, man. More light, more love, more life. 1.
Thanks for listening to Marshall's Melanin PodClass. To download this episode, go to thehiddenscienceacademy.com/PodClass. Be sure to catch the next class on the 1st of the month. And if you like this one, please share it with your friends and family. If you're on Instagram, you can follow Leon Marshall at The Scientist Online. And remember, keep shining.
do my what them can't do enough.
The genius.